welcome to Vocal Bliss. Today we're going to talk about breathing, which, as you probably know, is one of the most important things in singing. In just a moment.
Dare to climb boldly, brave that high peak. You'll never know failure if bravely you seek.
Many aspiring singers believe that by just mastering the technique of correct breathing for singing, they can actually sing. Well, if it was that easy, that would mean that if you know the correct way of breathing, you can automatically play the trumpet or any other wind instrument, but obviously that is not the case. A lot more is involved and a lot more needs to happen. So, namely, one of the most important things that needs to happen is learning correct vocal placement. Now, when you learn to place your voice well, meaning there's no tension in the throat and your sound is placed in such a way that you have automatically a full resonant tone, almost automatically you end up breathing correctly. However, we can also work on our breathing and expand it and make it better and bigger, and that way we can actually enhance its function and its importance and use it for singing and help tremendously with our singing. So what does it mean to breathe correctly? Breathing correctly means to not, especially for starters, to not breathe with this area of the chest. This is what most people do. They take shallow, quick breath using this area, and the abdomen and the diaphragm, which are the main muscles for breathing correctly, are pretty much like dead. They don't really get used much, and this is one of the first things that we need to address and correct. In fact, we're going to talk about how to breathe with your belly muscles and your diaphragm. And what I want to say up front is that one of the best things that you can do is to train yourself, even when you're just speaking, to take breaths by inflating your belly as opposed to raising your shoulders and breathing only with this upper part of the chest. So how do you breathe correctly diaphragmatically? So I'm going to do this standing up, but I suggest if you want to try it, and if it's the first time you ever do this, I suggest you lay on your back, because that way it's a lot easier to feel the movement of the belly that I'm talking about. So put your hands on your abdomen, and now we're going to take some long deep breaths through the nose. And as you do that, if you're laying down especially, you'll notice this naturally, but if you're standing up like me, make sure that you keep your shoulders down and make sure that you inhale, inflating your belly. Your belly will come out as you inhale like this. See, it actually inflates. And then when you exhale through the mouth, we're going to exhale and deflate. And see, your belly goes back in towards your spine. So we're going to do I'm going to stand sideways so you can see me well. Actually, get rid of this hand. Okay, so for the purpose of what we're doing, let's inhale, inflating through the nose, and then exhale, deflating. And we're going to exhale through the mouth, but we are going to close the teeth and the tongue together, and we're going to make this sound like this. As you do this, you'll notice that you have to press really hard with your belly muscles in order to exhale, because you're creating a resistance here. So that's what we want, so that these muscles get used to actually working hard. Okay, so inhale, inflate, inhale through your nose. exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, so this is a good way for you to develop the ability to breathe with your diaphragm and using your belly muscles. When you sing, and especially when you do exercises that involve long notes, you can work on this really well by making sure that, first of all, you inhale, inflating your belly, and you don't take a quick breath like that, but inhale, inflating the belly. And then when you sing and you hold your note, relax the throat and rely as much as possible on these muscles being completely engaged. So you have to feel these muscles always working when you're singing, basically. Because if these muscles are relaxed, chances are that you are tensing these muscles, which should be relaxed. So the two things go together. The more you relax your throat, the more the pressure of the air will automatically be put on the abdomen, and this is what we want, because the pressure has to go somewhere. If you don't engage your abdomen, you're gonna end up tensing the throat, and that's not good for singing. All right, so another exercise that you can try, and this is not something you do while you're singing, obviously, but it's only an exercise to strengthen these muscles and the diaphragm as a muscle. And this is actually an exercise that comes from yoga. They call it breath of fire. And it's quick exhalations, short, quick exhalations where you engage these muscles very, very actively, like this. So you go. This is what these muscles end up doing. You see like a pump. And the inhalation happens almost automatically as you do that. Don't do too many of these in a row because you might end up getting lightheaded. But this is a very good exercise to strengthen and make these muscles really tight and engaged. So you can do a few of these rounds regularly. You know, better if you do it before doing your vocal warm-ups. But in general, if you want to really sing and you want to sustain, long singing sessions, maybe high range notes that require more pressure of the air, of the breath, these exercises should always accompany you. So as you warm up your voice, you should always do some exercise to warm up your diaphragm as well. And you'll see how that will greatly help your singing. Okay, I hope you found these tips useful. There's a link in the description that will take you to a blog post where I talk about this that you might find interesting. And if you like this video, as usual, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel so you are sure to not miss any other videos in the future. Okay, see you soon. Bye.
When others despair, be strong.